I gotta make this quick. Man, it's insane. I just got a bunch of stuff for the RS, and it's insane because I was looking for all this stuff and I couldn't even find it, and I got it all for a steal. At the start, all I recorded was me running because I didn't want to be late. Check this out. I got all of this stuff for $20 each, so all of this was like 160. This guy was just trying to get rid of everything, and I picked up tail lights, headlights, front bumper, and the hood and the trunk. I'm back a day later, and you can see I got all this stuff in here. The trunk is inside. You can't tell with this side of my garage. It just has a bunch of junk all the way through. Let me show you. Oh, I gotta step back for this one. The car is here. I have all my drift tires back there, and there's a lot of it just taking up space. Then I have some other stuff. So this side I was actually using to store my BRZ over the winter, so this kind of turned into like a storage side. I think I want to try and like organize that stuff and make some more space because there's no room back there, so I can't even like walk around the car, so it's just a pain to do anything to this car. So I'm thinking of trying to clean it, and even like I have the fridge over there that I want to move it all the way back to the wall. So I think I'm going to just stack up the tires as high as I can. And I'm deciding if I should move this car to this side because all my tools are on that side, and then but I'm gonna have to keep walking back and forth, so I'm trying to see. But this car is like 3 more feet longer than this, so I don't know if I can get it to fit with all the stuff because it's really close back there, and then it's really close in the front too. So I'm gonna try to spend like probably a couple hours organizing everything and seeing how I can make it just easy to work on this car. Well, I'm kind of bummed. So this car hasn't been here even a week, and there's a little oil puddle right there, which kind of sucks. I mean, I guess I kind of knew that it's leaking somewhere because it's all oily up there, but I didn't think it was that fast. So I'm really bummed right now because I was just about to move the car to start cleaning, and I saw this. I wanted to just put some stuff in the trunk, save some space in the garage, but that's so bad. Luckily, I didn't even know I had this. It's kind of cramped, but my dad had a vacuum that sucks up liquids. I didn't even know. I was gonna go in there with a bunch of paper towels, try to soak it all up. But thank God for this thing. It's gonna make my life easier. Going through the trunk, and I noticed, look at this. There's duct tape under that bolt, and it's on this side too. And then this thing is destroyed. Like it comes out. Look at that. Look at the metal here. I have no idea what happened. Like over here, it looks like someone tried to stick something in there or like stretch that area out to, I don't know, get a tool in there. And this one is done. Yeah, I have no idea what's happening in here. Unless someone tried to fix the leak, because there was definitely a leak if there's that much water in here. And there was a bunch of duct tape here that I took off. I thought it was because the light was broken, but I'm thinking now maybe it leaks from here, because one day when I looked, it's really dark, but I saw the water piled up, and for some reason I didn't notice the water over here until today. But I think I'm going to be replacing the entire trunk anyway. Well, here's something we can all learn today. So this being the first automatic car I've owned, I just realized the battery's dead, and I mean I could jump start it, but that's a lot of work, and all I need to do is move the car just down the driveway. And since it's automatic, I just realized I can't push it because I can't get into neutral. I mean, on a manual car, you just, put in neutral and that's it. But here's the trick to getting this car specifically into neutral. So a lot of cars, all you have to do is find the release lock and just manually unlock this thing, because usually you need to have your foot on the brake and it electronically unlocks it. So for this car, it's more work than it should be. Usually on most automatics there'll be like a small little box somewhere this side, and you just basically take a screwdriver, pop it out, and there'll be another button you can press to unlock this. For this car, we're gonna have to take this whole thing off, I think, because I don't see any small cube to take off. This is gonna suck. Alright, so we're taking this thing off, and I kind of already did it because I didn't want to hold the camera. I wanted to be kind of careful when I'm doing it. So what I did, I have 2 flatheads. I was able to find a spot right here that I could stick the first one in. I took the second one in and then went right beside it and popped out a couple clips that are all the way through here. And then I did the same thing on this side, stuck the screwdriver, was able to pick it up just a little bit, and had enough space to put the screwdriver and pick out everything else. And then with just my hand, I could kind of start separating everything. So I haven't done anything else yet, but it's kind of stuck under all of this here, so I'm hoping I don't have to take off anything else. But I think this is a separate piece, so I'm gonna try to bend my way through getting this off without taking this thing off. And while I'm only 2 minutes in and I said screw it, I'm taking this off, it was completely blocking this, and I was starting to bend this too much. I was too scared of snapping anything here. So I'm taking out 2 screws that were here, and one of them had this tab covering the head of the screw. I'm pretty sure I should have had both of them, but I only had one. And I think I'm gonna have to unplug stuff. I want to record this part so that I remember what I unplug and where it's from, because I can barely see down here. Oh, it's just the one plug, I think. Yep, there you go. So that's the connection to the mirror adjustment thing. All right, this thing's off, and there's a lot of junk in here. There's some coins in there, and now I'm kind of happy that I took it off because it's a good chance to clean this all up. Okay, getting to the good stuff. So now I can kind of lift this thing. It's still attached somehow at the back there, but I think I can see that hole right there that I need to get to, which I'm trying to point to it right there. If you can kind of tell, I'm gonna stick a screwdriver in there now. I think this is the hole, I'm not sure. I'm just trying stuff. I'm trying to push down and press this button at the same time. So right now it's still locked. I think if I do it right, this button should just go in. I got it. I don't know what I hit, but I switched screwdrivers, and now you can see the button's completely gone in. Ooh, nice. Well, there you go. Only took undoing everything over here, but that's how you get a automatic into neutral with the car off. And coming back to an equally messy garage, I just ended up junking everything on this side. The car was there, and now it's on this side. This is a better side because all the tools are there. Toolbox is back there, plus I have a nice table behind. But it's on this side now. I still have to kind of organize stuff, but I end up starting a little home reno project for some flooring. So in between moving it and all that and recording the video, I had done some other stuff. So now, cutting a bunch of wood over there, we got a nice layer on top of the car. As for the plan for today and the next coming few days, I think the most important thing I want to do is get a very good look at what I'm dealing with underneath all the body panels under the car. So I'm gonna try to get as many panels off the car, so fenders, bumpers, I don't know what else. And also I have to figure out a good and safe way to actually jack up the car, because as I showed in the previous video, the jack points on all 4 sides are completely ruined. It's rusted and bent up by someone. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to safely jack up everything and put them on stands. I've never jacked up a car without those putting jack stands right at the jack point. So I think I have to figure out where I can put the jack stands to hold the car up safely. And when it's up, I can have a nice look underneath to see how bad the rust is on the frame itself, because I think that's the most important thing when deciding if I should even continue on with this car, because I don't want to start putting money into this car and, you know, having fun with it, being all excited, and figuring out that the frame is about to just die on me. But before jacking it up, I'm just going to do the easier job and take off all the fenders and bumpers to see if I can see anything else wrong with the car. So I don't know what genius decided it was a good idea to put those giant bolts just to hold the bump. Well, actually it's probably holding other stuff, but why is the bumper attached to it? It's insane. Well, I managed to get all 4 of them off. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. This one's a little easier because it's all this space, but these are insane to get out. You're gonna need an extension to go all the way down there, and you're probably gonna need a breaker bar or something to actually loosen some of these. Oh. Well, I guess it's my own fault for listening to some random guy on YouTube. So the bolts I was complaining about or for this crash bar, which did I need to take this out? Because I don't think so. Should have just done it myself. After I took those out, I saw some tabs underneath and I started to think that maybe this is coming out with it. The video I watched, the guy just pointed at everything to take off and didn't actually show the bumper coming off. So I didn't realize he was telling us to take this whole beam off, which just made it 10 times harder. But the other pain was the two clips. So if you're taking off a bumper off your car, there's two lights on this side and then two on that side. Then make sure when you're taking it off, you don't just rip off the wire by mistake. This is where I'm at. So I got the car finally jacked up. I went through a lot of problems. My jacks started leaking and I tried fixing it. It's back here. I tried putting a new seal in it. But it's still kind of leaking. So I'm gonna go just get a new one eventually. We're still in lockdown around my area, so it's gonna take some time to get one. But I definitely have to get another one. And as I mentioned a while back, my pinch wells are completely ruined on all four sides. So what I did, so to jack up the front, I jacked up from a center plate that's right behind the oil pan, and then I put the jack stands right on the frame on both sides. For the back, what I did, this was a tough decision. I went for this plate here. I tried to put it as far to the inside as possible, but there's a bolt back there which kind of hits the bottom of my jack because it wasn't deep enough. So I tried to get as far inside as possible to stay in line with this, because I don't want to put in the center and bend it. I tried to double check this location with like a GC8 Facebook group. Most of the people said it's fine. There were a couple people said that this thing bends over time. I kind of had to take a risk here because I don't really have any other choice. There's probably better places to put it on the subframe, but I don't think my jack really goes high enough to actually hold it. The other choice would have been to put it on the trailing arm, but that's not as flat of a surface as this one is. So I just kind of went for this to be safer. But as a backup, I have wheels on both sides, and I left the jack slightly against the diff just to make sure. So since I jacked it up, I did go underneath. I had this box that I was lying on, but I'm gonna probably insert another video I took and just overlay it on here. But I basically found the exhaust leak. The pipe that was cut and where the whatever kind of resonator delete that was done at the connection where it goes to the next cat, that pipe is completely cut off. Like it was completely disconnected around the diameter. I don't know if the weld broke or just the pipe itself, but in the video that's gonna overlay you'll probably see it. I did try to shake it a bit, and then I also looked at the frame that had a lot of rust on it. I haven't looked into that video in detail. It was kind of zoomed. My camera was kind of zoomed in when trying to record that, so it's a little hard to see, but it is bad but not horrible. So I think I'm okay with it overall. Like, I mean, I just want this car to last at least a couple years and enjoy it. I don't want it to completely rot out as soon as I put some work into it. So I think it's fine. The rest of the car is honestly not bad. The rear subframe has rust, but it's not horrible. I mean, I've seen worse. If I'm doing a WX swap or something, that subframe is going to be completely swapped out anyway, so that's okay. Down here, this bolt right here is completely rusted. It's so hard to get to. All the metal around is kind of bent up and I can't really get a wrench on the nut that's behind there. I'm going to keep trying, or at the end I might just drill through it or cut it and just get a new one. The next thing is going to be depending on what comes in. So because we have the oil leak in the engine, I did order the gasket kit for it, like a complete gasket kit, which like includes oil pan, valve cover gaskets, head gaskets, and plus a bunch of smaller ones that I don't actually know what's coming in the kit. Just a big kit with a bunch of gaskets. Other than the engine work, the biggest thing is basically sanding the car, because I want to just take off as much rust as I can. Sanding the car means I'm gonna be able to check out all the quarters. The front fenders, I guess, are not as big of a problem. They look okay, and for the back, we already know that there's a problem there. It will give me a chance to decide if we're gonna just cut it all off and go with something, and go with the wide body or flares or something. Side note, good thing to do when you're taking apart a lot of things at once is somehow organize all the screws.
I've lost a bunch of screws on other cars, so it's only 2 parts and there's already so much stuff. This fender's not even done. I still have another bolt, I think, to go. So the three main things I want to get done now is going to be that engine gasket work, which is going to be a tough one because I don't have a hoist and I don't have an engine stand. I'm going to have to figure something out. I've never pulled an engine and I don't even have the proper tools. So I'm definitely getting an engine stand, but I'm going to try and figure out a way to do it without a hoist. And I don't want to have one stored up in my garage taking space, especially because this is only one job that I need to do as of now. And the next big thing is going to be sanding the entire car. It's going to suck to do, and also I'm going to be changing the color of the car, which is going to be fun. I've never done that before, so that will be interesting to do. Finally, the exhaust is 100% something I need to get because it's completely chopped off. I have nothing planned, so I don't know what I'm doing first, but I'll see whatever the next few clips are. I have no idea what I'm doing.